You owe back taxes, and you receive a letter from the IRS stating that if you don't pay, they're going to attack your paycheck and empty your bank account. So you call them up, and the IRS tells you that you got to pay $1,000 per month. But what happens if you can't afford to make the payments? Are there any other options available to you? I'm stuck in a payment plan that I can't afford. That's the topic of today's video, on the other side of the break.
1-877 Levy-King, L-E-V-Y Levy-King, 1-877 Levy-King, LEVY-KING.com.
Owe back taxes to the IRS? Call the Levy-King, he's the best. 877 Levy-King, LEVY-KING.com.
1-877 Levy-King, LEVY-KING.com.
What's up, guys? Corey Hankerson here from Legacy Tax, and they call me the Levy King because I've helped thousands of clients with unfiled returns, back taxes, tax liens, and that's right, IRS levies. If the IRS took your check, the Levy King will get it back. 1-877 Levy-King, LEVY-KING.com. I'm also the author of End the Tax Nightmare, Insider Secrets to Beat the IRS and Reduce Your Tax Debt. Inside the book, I'll show you how to stop IRS levies, liens, and garnishments without paying the tax in full, how to set up the payment plan that you want and not the one that they want, and how to potentially settle your tax debt for less than you actually owe. My book has been a top seller on Amazon for years, and you can buy it right now for $19.99. But I want to give you a copy of the book absolutely free. Just go over to my website, that's www.endthetaxnightmare.com, and enter your name and your email, and I'll send you a copy right away. No charge, not even for shipping, totally free. Now, before we go any further with today's video, please take a minute to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and hit that notification bell so you get a heads up each time we drop a new video. Okay, guys, let's dive into today's content. Okay, let's say you're self-employed. Maybe you're a truck driver, a doctor, a lawyer, contractor. Maybe you sell insurance or you sell real estate. The point is that you get paid via 1099 and no federal taxes are withheld from your income. You should have been making estimated quarterly tax deposits, but you struggle to make the quarterly tax deposits and also have the money to keep your business afloat. So at the end of each year, you owe a small fortune to Uncle Sam. When you call the IRS, you agree to that $1,000 per month monthly payment, and you had every single intention to make the payment. But now the problem is, how do you pay that $1,000 a month to pay off the old debts while also making the estimated quarterlies for your current debts and keeping your business alive? A year or two later, you look at your account balance and you see that it's pretty much the same. It really hasn't gone down at all, even though you've been making the payments on time. The reason for this is because the IRS charges interest and penalties on the unpaid tax. In addition to the interest and penalties, they also charge interest on the penalties. So you're paying the balance down while the interest and penalties are raising it back up every single month. You pay it down, it goes back up, and so forth and so on. So that cycle continues for year after year after year, right? Now, to get out of this mess, you have to start to see the problem differently. And in order to do that, I want you to understand something first, and that is that the IRS has 10 years to collect back taxes. After those 10 years, the tax liability becomes what they call uncollectible. And what that means is that, technically you still owe it, but they can't make you pay it after that 10-year period of time. Okay? And that's assuming you didn't do anything to stop that 10-year clock from running. We'll talk about that at another time. So therefore, the goal should be not to pay off the balance via the payment plan, but rather to manage your cash flow and avoid liens and levies and garnishments while you run out the 10-year clock. Or if you qualify, you want to try to settle the overall balance for less than you actually owe. So I'm going to go over a couple of different strategies for how do you do that. First one up, how do you run out the clock? One of the strategies that I like to use for running out that 10-year clock is something called currently not collectible. So a currently not collectible, or CNC, that's where the IRS agrees that you're unable to make any monthly payments towards the tax liability whatsoever. And if they were to force you to make payments by garnishing your wages or levying your bank account, it would cause an undue financial hardship, causing you to be unable to put gas in the car or food on the table. So when that argument is successful, you go into CNC, currently non-collectible, and you're not required to make any monthly payments whatsoever, and the 10-year clock continues to run. For more on CNC, I want you to watch this video or click the link in the description below. My next strategy is something called the partial pay installment agreement. Partial pay is one where the taxpayer makes monthly payments that are less than the amount needed to pay the tax in full, plus the interest and penalties before the CSID or before that 10-year clock runs out. Authority for the partial pay comes from Section 6159A of the Internal Revenue Code, which provides that the IRS may accept an installment agreement if the agreement will result in full or partial collection of the tax. Now, so what does that mean? That means that instead of paying that $1,000 monthly payment, you can actually negotiate a payment plan with the IRS where you're paying a lesser amount, maybe $200 or $300. The net effect of that is going to be that you're not paying enough to pay off the debt in full, but that 10-year clock continues to run. So again, you're managing your cash flow and you're keeping yourself out of collections while you run down the clock. For a full and complete breakdown of the partial pay installment agreement, check this video out or click the link in the description below. Okay, so my next option here, it doesn't necessarily have to do with running out the clock, but rather it's more about settling the debt for less than the full amount that you owe. So that brings us to the offer in compromise, also known as a tax settlement. And that's where the IRS agrees to accept an amount that is less than the full amount that you actually owe as a settlement for all of your tax liabilities. The OIC, or the offer in compromise, is normally the best option for those who qualify. The problem is that not everyone qualifies. So with that, what we're essentially doing there with the offer in compromise is we're going to say, look, IRS, I know I owe you $50,000 and you want me to pay $1,000 a month. There's no way I can afford that. I can't afford $50,000. I can't afford $1,000 a month. But I'd like to offer you $10,000 as a settlement, as a lump sum settlement for the full amount that I actually owe. Right? And when that package is put together well, when that argument is made well, they accept that $10,000. That settles the full amount that you actually owe. For a more detailed breakdown on the offer and compromise, again, check out this video right here or click the link in the description below. Okay? So as you can see, there very well may be better options than the traditional payment plan, right? The traditional payment plan is going to be where you are paying off the tax debt in full, plus the interest and the penalties within the 10-year period of time that we just said the IRS has to collect. Other options include currently non-collectible and the partial pay installment agreement are great options to consider, right? Both of those are good. The offer in compromise is often the best option to resolve tax debt if you qualify. Speaking of tax debt, I want you to know that there are special programs in place to help you get a fresh start. But how do you know if you qualify? You see, no two cases are exactly alike. So how do you know exactly how much you can settle for? Well, I've created a free tool to help you get qualified for a fresh start. Just head over to my website, www.LEVY-KING.com, or click the link below. Follow the prompts and answer a few simple questions on the screen, and we'll help you figure out your eligibility for one of the IRS solutions. The website again, www.LEVY-KING.com, or give us a call at 1-877-LEVY-KING. That's it for this week, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
1-877-LEVY-KING, L-E-V-Y, Levy-King, 1-877-LEVY-KING, LEVY-KING.com.
Owe back taxes to the IRS? Call the Levy King. He's the best. 877-LEVY-KING, LEVY-KING.com.
1-877-LEVY-KING, LEVY-KING.com.